Truck lots are jammed, sales have flatlined, and dealers? They're in full-blown panic mode, throwing out rebates, free upgrades, and begging buyers to show up. Some got too fancy, others got too old. A few should have never existed in the first place. This isn't just a list, it's a warning. If you're truck shopping in 2025, these are the models dealerships desperately want off their hands, and the ones you'll regret driving off the lot. Nissan Titan. It was supposed to be Nissan's full-throttle comeback, a bold strike against Detroit's iron grip on the full-size truck market. This truck had one mission: take on the American giants and win. Armed with a 15,600 cubic centimeter V8 engine, solid towing specs, and a rugged frame, it looked like a serious contender. It offered real power, decent reliability, and skipped the inflated price tags of Ford and Ram. On paper, everything clicked. In reality, it flopped hard. In the year 2023, Nissan quietly pulled the plug. The Titan was officially discontinued, and with that, buyer confidence evaporated. When a vehicle line ends, so does trust. Suddenly, parts availability, service support, and resale value all get thrown into question. And once the word discontinued sticks, the damage is brutal. Now dealerships are facing a full-on nightmare. Titans are gathering dust. Even with steep cash discounts, extended warranties, and aggressive loyalty offers, they can't move them. Some dealers are offering $5,000 incentives just to clear space, but buyers aren't showing up. The Titan has become the ultimate zombie truck. It still runs, still appears in glossy ads, but in the minds of buyers, it's already buried. It's a dead nameplate with no future, no hype, and no real reason to buy. And if that's what happens to a truck that just died, wait until you see what happens to one that never lived up to its name in the first place. GMC Canyon. GMC wanted a showstopper, something that screamed luxury in a segment built on utility. That was the idea behind the Canyon, a mid-size pickup dressed up to impress. It looked bold, carried the upscale GMC badge, and promised serious performance. Under the hood sits a turbocharged four-cylinder engine with 2,700 cubic centimeters, pumping out 310 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 430 pound-feet of torque. That is real power, on par with some full-size trucks. On paper, it looked like a slam dunk. In reality, it's fallen flat. Here's why. Buyers are not buying the hype. The Canyon shares most of its DNA with the Chevrolet Colorado, a truck that costs thousands less. Yes, the Canyon has more chrome, a few upgraded materials, and a slightly quieter ride. But that's not enough. Most buyers quickly realize they are paying a premium for a badge, not a better truck. Many shoppers walk into the showroom expecting something special, something that justifies the price tag. Instead, they find a dress-up Colorado with a marketing pitch. That disconnect kills the deal fast. Dealerships are now buried in Canyons they cannot sell. To push inventory, they're throwing everything at buyers: free maintenance, extended 0% financing, and stacked accessory bundles. In some areas, markdowns climb well past $5,000, but even with the extras, buyers are walking away. The Canyon wanted to be the refined alternative, but it ended up as the overpriced twin that no one asked for. And while the Canyon overreached, the next truck didn't even get a chance to keep up. We break down what the brochures won't, and if that's helped you think twice before buying, hit subscribe. It helps us keep doing what the dealers won't. Nissan Frontier. It was the blue-collar workhorse everyone could count on. Simple, affordable, and built like a tank. For years, the Nissan Frontier earned its stripes as a no-nonsense hauler that got the job done without flash or fuss. But then, Nissan made a critical mistake. It did nothing. For more than 10 years, while the rest of the industry evolved, the Frontier sat still. No updates, no redesigns, just the same old truck collecting dust on dealer lots. Meanwhile, Ford, Toyota, and Chevrolet were rolling out fresh tech, smarter interiors, and eye-catching designs. Nissan? It was stuck in neutral, and the longer they waited, the more buyers forgot it existed. When the long-overdue redesign finally arrived in the year 2022, expectations were sky-high. The new Frontier brought a 3,870 cubic centimeter V6 engine, making 310 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. It also featured a modernized cabin, new safety features, and rugged styling that looked ready for a comeback. But it was too little, too late. The years of neglect had done real damage. The Frontier had slipped off buyers' radar completely, and the redesign wasn't enough to bring it back into the conversation. Dealerships stocked up, expecting a hit, and were blindsided by the silence. Now Nissan dealers are offering regional blowout deals, cashback incentives topping $5,000, and long-term percent financing. Still, interest remains ice cold. In this business, trust takes years to earn, but only a few to lose. And Nissan waited too long to fix what wasn't broken until it finally was. Speaking of outdated pickups, the next truck feels like it belongs in a museum exhibit, yet somehow it's still on sale. Ford F-150 Lightning. Ford didn't just launch a truck, they tried to launch a revolution. The Ford F-150 Lightning was marketed as the future of American work vehicles. Powerful, practical, and fully electric. It was the next chapter in the legacy of the country's best-selling truck. And at first, it looked like a knockout. With up to 580 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque, the Lightning could hit 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds and tow up to 10,000 pounds. The numbers were jaw-dropping. But then, reality hit hard. The first issue was range. While Ford advertised up to 320 miles on a full charge, that number collapsed once you hooked up a trailer, filled the bed, or simply hit highway speeds. Many owners reported losing nearly half their range doing basic truck tasks. That's a deal breaker. Then came the price tag. Fully loaded Lightnings shot past $100,000, a number most working-class buyers couldn't justify even with federal tax credits and dealer incentives. And suddenly the excitement turned into hesitation. Now dealerships are in panic mode. Ford is throwing out discounts up to $15,000, offering aggressive financing and tacking on dealer bonuses just to keep these trucks moving. Some dealers even rejecting future shipments due to inventory pileups. The Lightning had ambition, but the average buyer wants reliability, range, and affordability. And right now, the Lightning delivers none of those. This was supposed to be the truck of tomorrow. Instead, it's becoming today's biggest electric misfire. And if you think that's bad, wait till you see the full-size pickup that tried to fake luxury and failed even harder. GMC Sierra 1500. It was meant to stand out in a crowded segment, but not for all the wrong reasons. The GMC Sierra 1500 was designed to be the premium full-size pickup, the luxury upgrade from the Chevrolet Silverado. It sports aggressive styling, chrome accents, bold branding, and all the visual cues of an upscale workhorse. Under the hood, buyers can choose between powerful V8 engines and turbocharged options depending on trim. But beneath all that flash lies a harsh truth. The Sierra does not deliver enough real-world substance to justify its inflated price tag. Mechanically, the Sierra shares its core components with the Chevrolet Silverado. Same chassis, same powertrain, same towing numbers. The only major differences are cosmetic, more polished materials, slightly upgraded infotainment, and a higher price tag. Buyers are realizing quickly that they're being asked to spend thousands of dollars more for a nearly identical truck with a different badge slapped on the grille. In today's competitive market, where value and substance matter more than ever, that's a hard sell, especially when rivals like the Ram 1500 offer a truly luxurious interior, leather seats, open-pore wood, and class-leading ride quality. The Sierra, in contrast, feels like a mid-tier truck trying too hard to dress up. Now, dealerships are flooded with unsold Sierra units. To move them, they're tossing out steep cash incentives, extended financing plans, and bonus add-ons. In some regions, discounts are exceeding $6,000. Still, buyers are looking elsewhere, because in 2025, truck shoppers want more than chrome. They want authenticity. And while the Sierra faked luxury, the next pickup didn't even bother with an update. Chevrolet Silverado 1500, once considered the no-brainer choice for hardworking Americans. This full-size truck is now struggling to keep up in a market that demands more than just muscle. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500 has long been known as the working man's truck, reliable, capable, and no-nonsense. For years, it delivered exactly what buyers needed. Strong towing, a rugged frame, and a variety of V6 and V8 engine options to suit both fleets and families. But in the modern truck world, durability alone is no longer enough. The last full redesign of the Silverado happened in the year 2019. Since then, the competition has raced ahead. Ram has introduced cabins that feel like luxury lounges. Ford's F-150 continues to push the tech envelope with smart towing systems, massive touchscreens, and hybrid options. Meanwhile, the Silverado still leans heavily on hard plastics, outdated screens, and a cabin layout that feels stuck in the past. Buyers have noticed they want comfort, they want tech. They want an experience that blends capability with modern convenience. And increasingly, they want a truck that feels like it belongs in the 2020s, not the 2000s. Dealerships are watching Silverado inventory stack up, especially on higher trims that can run north of $60,000. To keep things moving, they're slashing prices, bundling in service plans, and offering aggressive financing terms. In many markets, discounts of $5,000 or more are now common. The Silverado still gets the job done. It is reliable, strong, and built for work. But that's no longer enough to turn heads in a tech-savvy truck market. But while Silverado's problems are mostly cosmetic, the next truck's flaw is baked into its DNA. Jeep Gladiator. It entered the market as Jeep's boldest gamble in years, part truck, part trail rig, and all attitude. The Jeep Gladiator burst onto the scene with a bold promise, off-road capability and open-air freedom, all in a pickup format. It was supposed to be the best of both worlds, a Jeep Wrangler with a truck bed, and at first it worked. Buyers loved the solid axles, removable doors, and trail-ready toughness. The Gladiator quickly became a cult favorite among adventure seekers, overlanders, and hardcore off-road fans. But time has not been kind to this trail warrior. On pavement, the Gladiator falls apart, figuratively, not literally. Steering feels vague, the ride is jittery, and cabin noise is excessive. For daily commutes or highway trips, it's a chore. And in an age where most truck buyers spend more time on roads than rocks, that is a deal breaker. Under the hood, the Gladiator runs a 3,650 cubic centimeter V6 engine producing 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It's capable, but not refined. And when you're spending over $50,000, most buyers expect more than just trail dominance. The bigger issue? Jeep has done very little to improve the Gladiator since its debut. Competitors like the Ford Ranger and Toyota Tacoma have rolled out redesigns, new drivetrains, and sleek interiors. The Gladiator? Same old package, slightly updated colors. Dealerships are now offloading them with big cash rebates, bundled accessories, and even free off-road gear. But interest continues to wane. But the next mid-size pickup tried to do everything right and still lost in the shuffle. Ford Ranger. This truck sits in the sweet spot between compact agility and full-size strength, equipped with a turbocharged four-cylinder engine measuring 2,300 cubic centimeters. It produced 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque on paper. Those numbers are more than enough for everyday tasks, doing and even some light off-roading. But in reality, the Ranger has faded into the background, overshadowed by its own siblings. On one side is the Ford Maverick, smaller, more affordable, and packed with hybrid efficiency. It has captured the hearts of budget-conscious drivers who want a practical truck without the bulk or price of a full-size option. On the other side is the legendary Ford F-150, the best-selling truck in the United States, known for its capability, versatility, and decades of loyalty. That leaves the Rangers stuck in limbo. It is not as cheap and trendy as the Maverick, nor as powerful or iconic as the F-150. It has no clear identity, and that confusion is reflected on dealership lots across the country. Units are piling up. To move them, dealers are bundling in free bedliners, step rails, and even trailer packages, sometimes at no additional cost. Financing terms are being stretched and interest rates slashed. The Ranger is not a bad truck. It is simply the one nobody's talking about. And in a market this crowded, silence is the beginning of the end. And if forgotten is bad, overpriced is worse. The next truck gambled big and face-planted. Toyota Tundra. For years, Toyota earned a loyal following by keeping things simple. The Toyota Tundra was known for rock-solid reliability, old-school engineering, and a beefy V8 engine that delivered smooth, dependable power. But everything changed with the newest generation. In the year 2022, Toyota made a bold move, dropping the naturally aspirated V8 in favor of a twin-turbine, turbocharged hybrid V6 with 3,445 cubic centimeters. The new setup produced impressive specs: 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. On paper, it looked like a leap into the future. But long-time Tundra buyers were not sold. Many questioned the complexity of turbochargers and hybrid system. Others worried about long-term maintenance costs and the higher repair bills that come with more electronics. And then came the biggest blow: a steep increase in base pricing. Suddenly, the Tundra was no longer the affordable, no-nonsense truck it used to be. It became a high-tech gamble that alienated the very customers who made it a success. Dealerships have been struggling to unload them ever since. Some are offering thousands off the sticker price. Others are promoting loyalty rebates, and a few are bundling in service perks just to spark interest. Despite its power and innovation, the Tundra stumbled hard out of the gate. It tried to chase the future and lost its past. But if buyers ran from the new, they also ran from the old. And the next truck proves it: Chevrolet Colorado. Chevrolet thought it had a game-changer on its hands, but reality hit fast. The Chevrolet Colorado recently received a full redesign, and on paper it looked like a massive win. With bold styling, rugged off-road trims, and a powerful turbocharged engine under the hood, it seemed ready to dominate the mid-size truck segment. That engine, a 20,700 cubic centimeter four-cylinder, delivers an impressive 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, numbers that rival some full-size pickups. Buyers loved the new look and improved tech, especially the upgraded touchscreen and safety features. But there was one massive issue Chevrolet did not anticipate: the price. The new Colorado entered the market with a sticker shock that turned heads for all the wrong reason. Even base models were priced thousands higher than rivals, like the Toyota Tacoma and Ford Ranger. That misstep crushed momentum. Buyers who had been waiting for the new Colorado walked into dealerships and walked right back out. Even brand loyalists were left scratching their heads, wondering why a mid-size truck was suddenly priced like a luxury model. Dealers aren't just offering deals, they're in damage control mode. From extended financing plans to aggressive lease promotions and last-ditch cash bonuses, they're throwing everything at the wall to stop the bleeding. But the reality is this: the trust is broken, the lots are full, and the crisis is already underway. The Colorado is not a bad truck. In fact, it might be one of the best in its class. But Chevrolet forgot who they were selling to, and in the process, priced themselves out of their own audience. Want to see what happens when a brand underestimates the truck buyer's budget? This next model shows you. Ram 1500. It was the truck that proved brawn and luxury could coexist, and for a while it ruled the road. For years, the Ram 1500 was the gold standard for blending rugged utility with luxury comfort. Buyers praised its refined cabin, buttery smooth ride, and upscale materials that made it feel more like a premium sport utility vehicle than a traditional pickup. From real wood trim to an oversized touchscreen and stitched leather seats, this truck won over drivers who wanted muscle and elegance in the same package. But then something changed. As demand for full-size trucks cooled, Ram made a massive miscalculation. Instead of scaling back, they kept the factory lines moving at full throttle. By the year 2024, Ram dealerships across the United States were buried in inventory. In some regions, there were over 175 days worth of unsold Ram 1500s, just sitting there, untouched and collecting dust. It was not that the truck became bad. It was that buyers were no longer willing to pay top dollar for premium trims during economic uncertainty. Meanwhile, Ford and Chevrolet had already slashed production and offered aggressive incentives to keep up with market reality. Ram held firm on pricing far too long. Now the panic has set in. Dealers are rolling out record-setting rebates, big trade-in bonuses, and extended financing, just to keep these luxury pickups from becoming showroom furniture for buyers who want upscale features in a full-size platform. This is one of the best times to negotiate, and if even the beloved Ram is in trouble, wait till you hear what's happening to America's truck king Ford. F-150. For more info or decades, the Ford F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle in America, period. It earned that title through brute force, legendary reliability, and unmatched brand loyalty. From construction sites to family farms, the F-150 has been the heartbeat of the American road. But in the year 2025, something strange is happening. The king of trucks is slipping in fast. Over time, the F-150 became bloated with luxury packages, touchscreens, drive modes, and hybrid options. What used to be a simple tough workhorse has become a complex machine filled with sensors, software, and sticker shock fully loaded trims, now to pawn $100,000, pushing this once affordable pickup into luxury territory. The result, buyers are turning away. Many traditional truck shoppers want simplicity, value, and durability, not a six-figure payment plan tied to bells and whistles they will never use. Dealerships are droning in unsold inventory. In many states, dealers are slicing prices by $10,000 or more, offering 0% financing, loyalty bonuses, and even free maintenance packages. But even these offers cannot reverse the growing fatigue. People are asking a simple question: when did America's work truck become so complicated? It is no longer about hauling lumber or towing trailers. It is about configuring software and learning infotainment systems. And for many, that is a deal breaker. So which of these trucks would you drive if the was right? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe because this list was just the beginning.